Baseline ride version 2. Let's give this another shot. I started off the day with this exact same ride. Call that a test run. Tonight, I'm going to decipher what this is all about because today I've done my homework. After being quite angry at what I saw this morning. So, what I know about this ride now. There's no draft. So, everybody racing this bunch, don't worry, you can't draft anybody. So this is not a race, it's not a bunch ride at all. This is simply an individual effort starting at the same time as everybody else. I know exactly where the start and finish points are of every segment that I need to target. Tonight we'll be giving it the full mongrel on the short sprint. I'll be giving it a little bit of gas up the Titans Grove, and then we do the longer Epic Com Reverse. I won't be in a very good state by then. So, let's go. Let's get this done. Let's refresh, restart, and set some pace lines. So, the story behind this is in-game there's no prompts or no... You've got to do your homework before setting out on this course to know exactly where those start and finish points are. That caught me out today. Anyway, hope everybody is well. I'll be in the chat. We'll be just chilling between the segments. So this is going to be a half easy ride. We can talk DI2. We can talk whatever. In between things. There won't be much talking during the a couple of the segments. But there's no need to race this. If you're in the pens, don't race. Chill. There's no late join, but you can start in the pens, go off and have breakfast and come back. It's exactly what I did this morning. There was an 8 a.m. and then there was a 10 a.m. I wanted to start around 8:30 or 9. Logged in at 8. Sat there at the start. Chased everybody down. Anyhow, let's get it done. Let's get it done. Let's unleash some beast. Oh, Colin, I even unrolled from Zwift Academy this morning. I even unrolled after this morning's effort. Anyway, let's see how we go. Okay, so, sprint-wise, I'll be happy with 11 seconds on the short sprint. There's going to be people going a lot faster than me. And up Titans Grove Reverse, I'll be happy with... I think my PB up there recently is 1:45. If I can do it under 2 minutes, I'll be happy. Up the back of the Epic KOM, I'm going to call it as I see it. I've got no idea how the legs are going to hold up. This is my third session on the bike today. Let's go. Let's go. But don't race it. Nobody race. Don't worry. You can't draft. There's no draft. There's no draft. Let's just chill. And while we're at it, I'll fix the companion app that hasn't worked. Let me know if the tunes are too high or too low. I've got to have something playing for these efforts. All right. Kick a core tonight with Power to Max and Asioma Duos. Triple recording. We're back. Nobody race. Nobody race. Absolutely, Troy, you're on the money. No need to toast the legs whatsoever. There are power-ups, I think, assigned. But there's no need to use power-ups. I'm back on the Tron tonight. Let's have a look at that. Whilst we cruise between transit stages. What's the best angle? Here we go. Back on the blue Tron. Color coordinated. Looking good. I couldn't be bothered doing my research about which frame is the fastest and which wheel set and all that. I thought, look, the Tron's a fast enough bike. This morning I did it on the Buffalo. Kicker or Wahoo, they're both the same one. Competing against strangers. I'm sure some people are using this these events as a bunch race or a bunch ride, but it's not what they're about. I'm going to pull up a website, not here on the screen, just for my own reference though. Zwift Insider. If you want to get all the details and break down exactly where things are. Right, at 2.6 Ks. Watopia sprint reverse. That's what we're going. We want buffalo, yeah. So I've chosen the longer one tonight too, not the shorter one. The training I've been doing for the last 3 months, which is my 5x5s and Llama lab tests, definitely more suited to the other Zwift Academy baseline ride up the volcano. That'd be about a 6.5, 7, 8 minute effort. But I'm keen on the short sprint and Titans Grove reverse tonight. I'm going to try and go hard, mate. I'll try. Where are we in the pack? I'll leave that up there. So there's no need to get a run at other riders on the sprint. Typically in the sprint, you'd sort of line a pack up halfway or into the lead in to really boost your speed through the draft. But there is no drafting on this ride. The draft flag has been switched off. Switched off. If you want to see some really nice weather and a really nice ride that I did today, jump over to my Instagram. Went out for a ride around the lake today. Beautiful day here. So nice outside. We are still in lockdown. We have a 5K limit. Thankfully, the lake is in our 5K limit. I've got to turn that other fan up a lot. Are you ready for the sprint? I'm not, but I'll give it a shot. Where are we? Map Nix in real life Nix too. From the Off the Map tour, here we go. Kick your headwind is up. Still pretty hot. I should have done some leg openers. This is gonna suck. I shouldn't have taken it this easy. All right, we ready? Sprints have been coming up, 600 meters. This is the full, this is everything. The full Llama. If I snap the bike, I'll be happy. We'll capture it on stream. 12:51, yeah, it's the fastest time. All right, ready? Fucking come on! Sorry, I've got to pump myself up for this one. TT bike, ambitious. $500 to go. There's the marker. Not the start of the segment though. We'll get some power up. Are we ready? Come on. Let's go shopping! Oh, did they put the sprint banner further? Yeah! All Max is sleeping. Shush. Miller, let's do it. I started hitting the green screen. One down. We got it. Now, I'm not sure if the finish, I think I backed off too soon, but I'm okay with that because you really maintain the watts. I'm just watching the 30-day PRs. There we go, still got it. I had Jay Philpotts. So Jay and I used to race and train together. And we used to go race in third. That's awesome. We used to do animal sign sprints as you come into towns and stuff. So it's good to see Jay still up there. All right, happy with that. Now we're gonna go for a sub 2 up reverse tightens. Now reverse tighten starts at 11.9 Ks. So we've got some time to calm it down. Again, this section here, chill. It doesn't matter. Overall time doesn't count. Segment time. Can I get back I can't. I want to get back those segment times. Don't wake the baby here. I tell you what, form indoors for sprinting like that is really hard. It's a learned skill. If you can sprint outdoors, it's different to indoors, and vice versa. It's about really just straight down. It's not about, there's some kind of swinging motion that when you're sprinting outdoors with a bike, you can really get a hold of the bike. Indoors, rocker plate, let's not go there. All right. Cool. I do believe I have 3-second averaging on to today. That's why when I first opened up the pipes, I looked 600, 700, what the hell? All right. But for those kind of sprints, if you could sprint at 900 watts for 400 meters before and all the way through, you'd probably even set a better time than sprinting 1200 just for the segment. Zwift really rewards that ramping up of the speed. Minute 30 on the next round, yeah. Under two, and then we'll just suffer like a dog up reverse epic KOM. Now the best thing about these segments is they're timed, they're not watts based, if that's even a word. Yeah, Sam, so as a summary, these baseline rides, there's no real interaction of what's going on like a workout. There's also no draft, so don't even bother about trying to hold the front bunch. Overall time doesn't matter, it's segment time. And just know where the segments are. Sometimes you will pass through the start of another segment. So jump onto Zwift Insider and have a look at the segment listings for both of these. I'm on the advanced or long one. So the short segment's the sprint reverse, which we've just done. Now we're heading over to Titans Grove reverse. Don't get caught out like just here at Hank's Garage. There's a start point, but it's not used for this ride. I've done a lot of homework today, trying to figure out how this all works. So hopefully this helps out. So we've crossed the start line there. Yes, Pedro. Yes, he did. That's his only glory he'll have tonight. So don't bother holding wheels. That's just a visual thing. Don't bother your overall time. Give as much rest in between each segment. If you're going for all of them, that is. Hee 11:42, we got it. The hard thing about the sprint is we always watch cycle racing, and the sprint line is always the first across the line. That's obviously who wins the race. But the sprint points in game here, it's not first across the line. It's the rider with the, again, obviously I'm talking the obvious, but it's the rider with the least amount of time between the two segments. So if you can hit, you need to be up to speed before you hit the start line. Miller Philpotts, Freitas, Sully, Kruger. Oh, now they're gone. Is there a difficulty setting? There's no difficulty settings for what production. Just make sure that's spun down correctly every now and then. Which kicker as well. Heart rate's still up from that. A bit of FOMO at the moment, being in lockdown and not being able to get to Eurobike. Though the FOMO has been doused by not a lot happening at Eurobike. Kicker Core version 5. So that's a Kicker Core. There's only one version of the Core. Spin down is the best thing I can say. That sprint still got me. Spin down's the best place to start for trainer validation. Holy hell, I'm still recovering from that. Normally for any warm-up that I do on an event that I'm targeting outdoors, let Grandpa Llama tell you a story, I'd always want to hit the heart rate during warm-up that I want to hit in the race or the time trial. So if I wanted to sit on, say, 180, 178, whatever it was for the TT, if I didn't hit that heart rate just once during warm-up, I felt horrible when I hit that heart rate for the first time during the event. So it's just about getting the systems ready, buffering out that pain, because this shit hurts. Let's not sugarcoat that. Where's my super tuck? Oh, it doesn't super tuck on the Tron. So if you're just tuning in, baseline ride, Zwift Academy sets your, it's just your baseline fitness, and you do this again at the end to see where you're at and see how you've progressed. Baseline ride takes in 3 segments, targeting different systems. You've got your sprint, you've got your longer sprint, then you've got your very long sprint. Isn't all riding sprinting? So I guess it's aerobic, anaerobic, and then probably just a bit over threshold for the last one. Won't be over threshold for me. Thank you, Pedro. I'm just swinging away at the back here because these transit zones don't matter. This is how I wished gravel races were run. It'd be great if gravel races were run like this. We had a gravel event out the road here a couple of months back, and there was a neutral zone through a town, so you could stop, grab a coffee, do whatever, and that was not just non-timed. I'd love it in the reverse for races, which is exactly like what we're doing here. Start a gravel ride, have a hill climb that's a little bit further down the road than the start, so it's not chaotic. Have a time point, start and finish. Have a flat section, then maybe have a technical section. And then at the end, no need to sprint for the end, there's no elbows out, no need for any of that. You just go hard during those sections and just add up your time. I reckon that'd be fun. A mini tour within a ride. Why did this have to start with a sprint? Whew. Next segment, only 900 meters long. 900 meters. It's not far. To get an accurate measurement of your improvement, yeah, you'll need to ride the same bike and same equipment. Give or take just a small bit. Hard claws, I'm well. Slightly less well after that sprint, but we got it, so we're good. As we turn onto Titan's Grove here, we should see the leaderboard come up as people ping off the front and set some times. I can see some people out there on course. Just a little bit up the road there. So I'll have some target times to chase. I suspect the fastest time will be around 1:30 from this bunch. It's UK awake time, so there'll be some hill climb monsters floating around. Cycling CB, I'm still recovering. And do the ride after a rest day. It really depends. Sometimes the day after a rest day can be horrible. I think I've had 2 days off. But I've already had 2 rides this morning. Okay, Watt-wise up this next climb, 400 plus. I'll be happy with. And under 2 minutes. We'll see what happens when we get the leaderboard up on the screen. We're still about 5 to 6 minutes off hitting that start. How do I manage exercise and heart rate pre-sleep? I don't. After these kind of efforts at 8 o'clock at night, I can't sleep until 12 or 1 o'clock. Too much excite. Too much excite. So there's no grouping of riders. Everyone's just really strung out because there's no drafting. There needs to be a little icon somewhere. Yeah, no draft. Zwiftinsider.com has a breakdown of these segments for both of these baselines. So there's 500 meter markers that have been placed on course, but I think they're a little confusing because I think the short and the long routes I think have the same markers on course at both at the same time. I think that may have been fixed. But all you need to know is the segments listed over on Zwift Insider. So for this one it's Watopia Sprint Reverse, which we've done. We're going Titans Grove Reverse Com, which is the normal way I ride up anyway. And then we go Epic Com Reverse. Good question, runners. Zwift will record it for you. Now, I'm not sure. I can't see because I'm logged in at the moment and it's in logged in mode. Let me see if I can show you that just quickly. No, I can't because I don't have... I was going to switch off the Wi-Fi on that phone, but I don't have cell. But after you complete these rides, you can go back and check your segment times within the Zwift Companion app. They've offloaded a lot of this functionality into the Companion app. Would be nice to have it in-game, but that's what they're working with. Durace price tag? Yes, of course. It's funny, people are complaining about the price of the rear derailleur on the new Durace. It's pretty much on par with the Eagle XX1 Axis. So, and people are looking at the top of the range, best money can buy rear derailleur there is on the market. You do that for any other... I'm not justifying the price, they're absurdly high, but let's just say you do it for cars. Damn, that Ferrari's expensive. I want to drive to the shops, but that Ferrari is so expensive. When Shimano were like, we've got Ultegra. I have an Ultegra bike on order. We'll see if it comes in. I've got to get a hold of that group set. $11.9 is when the next effort starts. And just as the sprints, to set a really, really quick time, you really want to ramp up before the start. So you're at speed rather than sort of hit that start line and then ramp up. You're going to lose a few seconds. We'll see how we go. Oh, good, Nick. They were from 2014. It took someone a while to snipe them. And it took a lockdown. And a tailwind. What was the wind today? Actually, it was an epic wind today here. Oh, good, mate. No need to push up here at all. These segments are not timed, and overall time just does not count. So we'll just chill as my heart rate sits at 160. My heart rate's higher than my watts, what the hell? Try and get that down. That's hilarious. Might have been the coffee I just had. Oh, was it just the rear hanger? If it was just the hanger, you can get aftermarket hangers, unless the Propel has a special case. Whoa. Okay, so Epic KO in reverse, the third. We're not going to go too hard up that, but I do want to give this a nudge. Under 2 minutes. Under 2 minutes. We should see the leaderboard pop up. We can see at the top just there. We go full screen. Right above me now. People are already over the top and setting times. So we'll have something to chase. You reckon? So, yeah, okay. I might get out of the saddle for the last 300 or 400. We'll see, we'll see. We'll see how much mongrel I can bring to the party. I'm not looking forward to it. Look at the heart rate, it's still way up. My heart rate's matching my watts. 400 plus, under 2 minutes, that's it, come on. And don't yell too hard because I'll wake little Llama. And the theory is, the harder you go, the sooner it's over. That works, doesn't it? Lots of feedback on this this baseline ride on doors. Let's have a quick chat about that. It caught me out this morning. It was really difficult to know what was going on. I did have to go and do my homework before knowing exactly what was up and what times were said, that it wasn't watt-based, it was time-based. Overall time didn't matter. The finish line is actually beyond the final segment. All those little things. And that there's no drafting. So there's no sneaking up on bunches and getting a slingshot. If you're worried about your bike breaking on the trainer, feel free to rewind and see my TCR. Get a bit of a neck ringing before during the sprint. And it's done that many times before. If your carbon bike's going to break on your indoor trainer, like hell you should be riding it outdoors. The risks are a lot higher outdoors. It's not going to hurt your bike. As long as you install the bike correctly, make sure the bike is seated properly, you'll have no problems at all. If your bike's going to break indoors, it's going to break outdoors. If bikes broke indoors, there'd be a meme about it. There'd be a lot of anger in the community about Wahoo and Tax, Elite. People would be filing lawsuits. It's not happening. Not happening. So I think they're pretty good. Pain makes the time seem longer. Don't give me that kind of demotivation as I'm about to start. All right, nearly there. 1K to go. Let's do it. Let's do it. No idea for kids' bikes. Sorry, I haven't got to that part yet. All right, let's do it. 400 plus, 2 minutes under. Where's the leaderboard? What are we aiming for? Will I blow up? These are the questions that a lot of people are about to find out. Do we do it in the big ring? Actually, that's a really good question. Do I do it in the big ring? Quick chat, big ring, small ring. Vote now. Two for the big ring. Oh Jesus, 3, 4. Don't worry, the power meter's in the crank, so it's not going to be too inefficient. Holy shit, everyone's going big ring. Thanks, crew. Thanks for taking my feelings into consideration. Jesus. There we go, there's a vote for the small ring. Where's the bloody start? 125, you monster! Breathe. We there yet? My heart rate is. Oof! Come on. Motherfucker. 500, come on. Where's the flat? Up we go. I'm gonna die. Oh, holy hell. Ah. Did I get over 400? Oh shit. Oh. Ah. All right. We are going to just tap it over for a little while now. Let's get those times. 118, flying, flying, flying. Really good work. 125, 128, 129. Then the rest. Shit. I guess I'm a sprinter. Holy hell. Let's cool down a bit in the hot tub. Cool tub. I don't know what kind of bloody tub it is. I am fucked. Sorry. It's after hours here. You'll get some language. Holy hell. Splish, splish. Give me a splish, splish in the chat. Now we just have to do the epic KOM reverse. I'm happy with that. That's all right. I tell you what, the mental game, all I remember is when I was out of the saddle, whoever's to get out of the saddle, which was a good call because look at the power there where I did. I could see the banner around like the next corner a little further. I'm like, oh shit. The radio tower's not involved tonight. That's it. That's it, crew. I'll complete the ride, but I'm not going hard up the next one. It's just a little bit of redemption for this morning. Holy crap. I tell you what I'd love to see, so a bit of future think, which I posted over on the Zwift forums. It'd be great during this workout ride, sorry, free ride, baseline, to have a coaching on screen would be great, but to have someone in your ear that triggered time points. Someone's like, come on, 200 to go in the sprint. Get up, get up. Like really having someone punch the motivation. So when your head's down, it's like having someone standing next to you. The technology here can do this. This is no question about it. It's all just software. So when they get there to do something like that, that'll be awesome. And then up the longer climbs, switch to someone who's gonna, okay, you're on climb 4, halfway, tempo. Okay, the time set, good question. No, you get a separate time for each. So within the companion app, it will record 3 times. And you can review those. So I've got a good time for the sprint, I've got a pretty good time for the Titans Grove, and I'm gonna have a pretty shitty time for the next one. What's catching people out though is when those efforts start. Inertia, as in ride feel, as in road feel, as in ticking the legs over, they're all getting a lot better. Or I should say, up till about 2018 they got a lot better, and nothing much has changed since then. So I'm on the core now, which is fine for what I'm doing and for my training. Kicker 5, Neo 2T, that's a little bit different though, with its simulated flywheel. Jet Black Volt, which I had a look at in late January, is pretty good. Nothing still matches the Llama Revolution. Buttery smooth, so smooth. Smart Bike wise, their Stages bike's pretty good with its big cheese wheel on the front. I would not recommend the Watt bike, no. And I'm sorry if you own one and love it. That's cool if you do. For what I do, for my testing, it doesn't pass. Happy to work with any company who wants to send anything to the Llama Lab to be tested. What bike aren't one of them? Which is a pity, it has potential. The Atom 2020 I think has a lot of potential. Yes, Ian, bike is on order already. If my video on the Di2 stuff does well, that will contribute to me buying the new group set. I don't have early access though through Shimano. I'm trying. I still have the XPLR group set to install though. That's going to be a bit of fun in the meantime. And we still have Von's bike to look at, Von's new gravel bike, which is Rival Access. One by, beautiful bike. My first build of hydro and everything is working perfectly, so I'm happy with that. What was I looking for? Stats. I'm really happy with the views that I've got on the Shimano stuff. So a bit of behind the scenes info on that one for those playing or interested in how things operate in the background. I was on the embargo list 2 days prior to release. I was trying to sign up to the newsletter and I complained on Twitter that I couldn't even sign up to the newsletter to find out when the announcement was. Somebody from Shimano spotted that tweet, which was awesome. And then I got onto the embargo press list for that, which is what I'm on for a lot of other companies, which allows me to know a lot about a product, make a video about it and release so when everyone's interested in it. So the Di2 stuff, I had that for 2 days. That was 2 PDF files and some media assets, no hands-on unfortunately. But given my extensive hands-on with the other Dura stuff, I thought it was worth covering. I have kindly asked to get a little bit more heads up next time. A lot of stuff missed, like where's the time trial stuff, what's the backwards compatibility, what's the eTube compatibility, all the kind of stuff that you really dig into when you have hands-on for a week or two. It helps me make better, higher quality content. But I thought it was important for my coverage of that to go straight to the point No bullshit. Within the first, I think, 30 or 40 seconds, I have the summary of here's what's new, here's the everything. And if you want to stop watching after that, that's cool. You know that it's 12 speed, you know that it's wireless or semi-wireless. You know that the cassette's backwards compatible, which is a big win for people who watch my channel. Hey Sean, how you doing, mate? Jay Vine, how's Jay going? That's so great to see. The Volta should be live now, so I'll excuse you if you want to switch over. I will be switching over. Does anybody know if they're running the new Durace yet? I saw Jack Haig tweet out it's new bike day, but I'm not sure whether would they swap to a brand new group set halfway through a grand tour. I have confirmation the wheels were tested extensively at the tour. It does pack a lot of tech. I think the Durace rear mech, that's the Ferrari. Come back to your Ford or Holden or your, what's an American equivalent? Come back to the old Tegra. That's what I'll be aiming for. Equivalent dollars in Australia, the Durace rear mech is, for the new stuff, around $1,000. That's a lot. It's the same as the Eagle XX1 on Axis, but the Durace one's around $446 Australian. I mean, it's a lot of money, but it's not twice. So I run 80-50 or 80-70. What I love about the group set stuff, and I've been digging more into group sets as I get more access to Access and hopefully the Shimano stuff, is the intercompatibility. I had so much fun building this bike that I'm on now, the older TCR, from a mechanical to a Di2. That was fun, working out the wiring, junction boxes, different display ports. But keeping across the model numbers is difficult. There was one typo in my video the other day that a couple of people picked up on. It was one of the model numbers. It was one number off, but still, it's not correct. So again, cramming stuff in at the last minute as I get access to it is a bit of a shit. YouTube allows us to blur things out. So I thought, you know what, rather than people pick that up for the next couple of months, I'll just blur that little number out. So if you see a little blur in that video, it's because I typed the wrong thing. A lot of people are asking about why isn't there the ability to convert your current levers to 12 speed, given it's electronic anyway. What's the matter? What's the difference? For the hydro stuff, I believe the pull, or what do you call it on hydro? Somebody who knows more about that than I do. The yank, the arm, the oomph, draw is different, I believe, on the new calipers. So for the hydro, you won't be able to use the same hydros. What else? There was another thing with the levers too, I'm not quite sure. People asking about the rear mech. Why can't you use that and reprogram it? I believe the existing Durace only goes to 30. The short cage only goes to 30. The longer cage goes to 34. So if they did some sort of hackery backwards compatibility, then technically only the long cage, or the medium cage existing, will be able to take the 34. It gets messy. So reach and contact point adjust. But there's also the hydro, the amount of fluid it moves. Tons and tons of threads on this one online. People are angry. From a consumer, we always want the cheapest, the best experience, and not to feel ripped off. Pay once. You know, I get it. I'm on the consumer side too. On a company side, they're like, you know what? It's time for everyone to pay us a little bit more money again. It happens. For things that aren't subscription services, they got to keep diving for your wallet. I want to know when Garmin's going subscription service. That's the question. How much is this game? You pay for it in sweat and blood and tears and everything. It's worth your life. It's about $20 a month, I think, depending on where you are in the world. Oh, sorry, Colin, I missed it. Yeah, new TCR. I know the local Giant dealer very well. So well, in fact, that he'll respond to a Facebook message at 7:30 a.m. I saw Giant's, one of Giant's social messages on having the new TCRs with the new groups on them. So I messaged our local guy here. Because you might be able to get access to the bikes with the new Duros on it, or the new Ultegra on it, before you can the whole group sets themselves. We've still got our jersey, so I've got the Sprint. B Miller's got the Titans jersey. That's awesome. That is cool. So if you're just tuning in, I got the Sprint early on the first segment. B Miller down there snagged the Titans with a 118 flying. Sean, to be honest, I haven't even looked. I just messaged Shaw's Cycling here and said, can you get me, like, what's the availability on a medium? They said end of October. I'm like, oh, really? How far away is that? Oh, shit, it's not too far. If that's the case, watch out for a 2019 disc going up for sale. Nothing wrong with my current bike at all. But I need access to the new group. All right. Anyway, I do appreciate everyone jumping in for the chat. We'll continue on up the Epic KOM reverse and then back down that. So we're going to be here for another 30 or 40 minutes at least. But let us know. Tech questions, what you'd like to see. Have you spotted anything at Eurobike? I haven't. Cycling Tips did well today with their day one of Eurobike video. There's not much there. But I mean, I'm not hanging shit on Eurobike. That's the world. That's the way it is. Eurobike is becoming e-bike central. Has for years as bikes move towards mobility rather than sport, I would assume. And I think I've got a suspicion that indoor cycling is going to take a hit. I really do. Now I'm preaching to people who love indoor cycling, me being one of them. But indoor trainers used to be for us to be fit so we could go race. And then it was, oh yeah, we'll just top up our fitness so we can go out there and ride our bikes and be fit enough to go and ride our bikes and enjoy everything outdoors. My question is will e-bikes replace that need to be so fit? Or will every bike become an e-bike and we'll just be able to go out and ride anyway without that fitness? Will that change? Just as when cars came along, they killed the horse. Will indoor cycling take a hit with the rise in e-bikes? Or could it be that competitive cycling's taken a hit? Invest in gravel for now. Yeah, it'd be an interesting one, Sean. I mean, how many tries have been cancelled or closed or moved? We have Kona moved. If I don't have something to train for, again, let Grandpa Llama tell you a story. If I was training for an event, I could jump on and do efforts and intervals and everything. If that event got moved, couldn't do it. If that target got moved, coming home from the tour of Bright, I remember a number of times I jump on the trainer because that's what I always did, week in, week out before tour of Bright. Jump on the trainer, and then after Bright, you jump on the trainer and like, what am I doing here? Don't get you started on the try scene. Sean, in one sentence or less, what's the Collins Cup? I try and be across a lot of things, but that's not one of them. I couldn't. It's the first time I think I've heard of the Collins Cup. 8.2k to go. That's the timing point for the third effort. Is it the start? It is the start. Or is it further along? I don't know. Let's have a look at 21.7 it was. That was the start. Okay, sorry everyone, I missed that. If you're following at home. This is the start of the longer segment on the advanced. Sorry, I was off topic there. It started, thank you. What's the Ryder Cup? If I'm sounding a bit closed in, it is because I do live in a little tiny front room of my house, making content on group sets, so I don't quite get across the happenings of the world other than the coronavirus numbers for Victoria and New South Wales every day. Okay, so they all do, is it Olympic distance? The Collins Cup Olympic, or is it the Stanley Cup of golf? Now everyone's just taking the piss. What's the Stanley Cup? We're going to loop around here. We're going to cover about 100 different cups. I know what the Ashes are. Anyone from the UK with me? Miller, go, go, go! Get some. I'll give you a lead out, Miller, but there's no drafting. Go, boy. 350. Smooth as silk, look at that. With my untrained eye that is quite trained, I would say he's in erg mode. I reckon B. Miller's whacked that in erg. That's too humanly smooth. Hats off, I mean, you still got to do the watts, there's no question. Let me know, Miller. I reckon you're punching erg. Betcha. That's smooth. That's way too smooth for humans. Even at 0%, no one's ever within 1 or 2 watts. Says me within 1 or 2 watts. No, it's actually jumping around. What's my FTP? I think we did a test the other week. It was 319 or something. Not sure how close that was. Haven't done one of those for a very long time. And rarely did them when I was racing. I could tell you my 5, 10, 20-minute powers. And that's what I trained for. FTP. Thank you for subscribing. It does help out this small business under lockdown at the moment. A good number of subscribers and views for the Shimano stuff, so I'm really happy with that. It gets a bit disheartening when, I mean, the channel that I've set up it's a really good platform for when things are awesome and when companies make cool products. But when there's like not many of those around, the Suto's on the cards. I've got a few queries in with Elite still on that one. Oof. How's Miller going? Flying. Haven't even started the climb proper. I'm surprised they use the backside of this. This really is broken up with a few descents, and you can see a descent ahead of me there. About halfway through the screen that I can't point to. That's a solid descent. James, what system are you running Zwift on? There's currently an issue with Apple TV and iDevices and Bluetooth trainer control that rears its head in certain circumstances. We're waiting for a fix. Yeah, Apple TV remote. I have information that I can't share on that. It will be happening. It will be happening. Don't expect it soon though, as in the next few updates. I've been hounding him on that because the new Apple TV remote's fantastic. No, Favero have been on holidays. I've got a couple of support tickets. I've got a number of support tickets open with a lot of companies. And I know in Europe they're on summer holidays. Oof! Who turned up the heat? MacBook, possibly related. Has it been occurring in the last 2 weeks? And only in the last 2 weeks. Lee, if you've seen a few retailers are selling those Duo Skis really, really cheap. Bike Bug here in Australia had the Asioma Duo Ski spindles for 630 Australian dollars. In Freedom dollars, that's what, 400, 420, 430 US dollars? That's dirt cheap. So you do have to go and source other pedals, your tools, and you've got to accept that Q factor increase, clearance issues. But that's a massive gap between the Duo Ski at 630, heavily discounted, and the Asioma Duos at 1,000, where the only difference is the pedal bodies and some cleats. A little bit of an insight on the margins made on the higher end models. Yeah, you and me both, mate. That's a big miss, I think. When I heard, and I heard a while ago they were going, ASIAM were going to the SPDSL pedal, I'm like, holy shit. When I get something, or when I know something's coming along that's going to get a lot of views on the channel, that's good because that means more revenue for what I do. Pays my bills. I'm like, oh yes, Shimano power meter. Everyone wants these so bad. And I had them in the box for about a week because I knew they were at least 12 months from being released. So they were sitting there in the box. I'm like, oh, every day I'd walk past like, shit, yes, people are going to love these. But I hadn't got to them yet. And then I unboxed them and had a look and went, hang on a minute. And it's in the documentation. They don't hide the fact at all. The pedals are wide. And I'm like, no, it can't be that, can it? I was so disappointed. And that's the first thing I let them know. I'm like, guys, I understand the limitations of the pedals and the pods, but if you need just some advice on this, that's going to be a problem for a lot of people. They still went to market. Look, here's what it is. But I really hoped, I think I said that in the video, they had 3 years to redesign the pod and the pedal. And the pod and the pedal have been successful. I've got a set on right now. They had to do something a little newer. But the writing was on the wall when Garmin came out with a rally. Again, I'm like, yes! Shimano power meter pedal, yes! People are going to love these! Again, I think I had them for a week or two before I had to unbox it and get the video done. And they were great, they were fine. I've got still some issues with what I call residual torque. But Hardy, what are you doing up this time of night? He's up early. I did say on the Zwift forums, in the sprint section, I'd love Rasan commentating the sprint for us during these time trial tests or the baseline tests. Imagine having Rasan in your ear. Come on, man! You got this! At 200 to go. Yeah, that's the motivation we want. So I threw that idea in the forums. I hope they listen. I had Mike McCarthy in Zwift a few years back. standing next to me. World champion on the track. He's like, come on, Llama, you got this. And it was one of the Richmond KOMs. I'm like, hell, when you got a world champ screaming in your ear, you don't back out. So, anyway. What was I talking about? Those pedals. So, the Garmin pedals came out. I'm like, holy shit, yes. I didn't even bother focusing on the SPDSLs or the looks or anything. Shimano compatible pedals. Everyone's like, yeah, okay. We've pretty much all gone on board Llama's anyway. I'm like, god damn it. So my read was wrong. My read was wrong on the popularity of the SPDSL power meter pedals. The second ride didn't count. I'm not sure. I'm still learning this myself. I've only done the second, the advanced baseline, which I'm completing for the second time today, now, after doing my homework. Can't go wrong with a Quark. Powerlink pedals. Yeah. I'm pretty confident Wahoo have the technology sorted. Check out the drifting praying mantis. Oh no, they're not stuck together. Look like one of those human centipede bikes. If there was no drafting, why were those two bikes stuck together? Yeah, Quarks quietly chip away. We're seeing those, so SRAM own Quark, and they're quietly putting those power meters on bikes now. They're not... Do we see much marketing from Quark? I don't see it across my feeds. Probably they don't need to, they've OEMs now on the bikes. I think Ray and I predicted that, and Des, when we were talking in a round table a few years back. That group set companies will start just putting power meters on bikes and that'll be it. No, Scott, they haven't. Pack Dynamics 3.0 hasn't been public yet. Not only is Jay Vine in the mix, he signed another 2-year contract. How good is that? That doesn't take just one good ride either. You know that if a team's going to sign someone to the Pro Tour for another 2 years, they've looked at the data, looked at the history, looked at the person. I mean, you can be a horse and bolt pretty fast, but you know, you've got to be able to play the game in Europe. And I guess Jay's got it nailed. Great to see. Don't want a power meter locked to a bike. Yeah, it's a fair call. But you can only ever ride one bike at one time. And switching pedals over eventually is not a good thing. I know people, you can probably switch a set of pedals over a few thousand times, but some do have that bedding in process. If you're worried about that, you just have to go buy yourself some more power meters. They should be coming down on price. You should be able to get some decent deals. MW, good question. Plug your bolt in. First thing I'd try, well, the official channel is to talk to Wahoo support. But if you want some of my advice, plug your bolt into a PC or Mac and make sure it has enough free space. That's your first check. Those updates are they're only about 16 or 17 meg, I think. But if you don't have that free space on there, it won't be able to download the update. So plug it in, clear out the fit files, or back them up. Now, accessing the Bolt's file system is a little different to anything else. Under Windows, it's going to be a media device of some type. Under Mac, you'll need the Android file transfer tool. I have a video on connecting your Bolt to a Mac or PC and the tools required. Just search for Gplama Wahoo file system or something. If not, ping me somewhere and I can link you to the video later on. First thing to try. Yeah, so check space. Failing that, everything loves a hard reset. Jump on the Wahoo support site and find out what the secret key combination is for a hard reset, just to wipe everything and go from scratch. And see how that goes. Yes, you will need to set everything up, but it's a little easier with the Wahoo stuff in the app. 440 watts to get in the brake. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Good question on the GRX. I don't know. As I said earlier on, my insight for Shimano stuff's quite. Here's GCN. Here's cycling tips. I'm somewhere down here. I don't have access to that info. My gut feel for GRX, given it's only relatively new, we won't see GRX go 12 speed and the new wireless for probably another 12 to 24 months. Don't sing my praises yet, MW. I'm just spitballing. I think somebody asked about 105. It'd be great to see Shimano bring out mechanical and semi-wireless DI2 105. God, code names everywhere. So have your Durace, Showcase, Ultegra for those of us who can afford grip sets, and 105 as your rival Axis group, but also have that as mechanical. I'm sure they could refine 105 to be, on par with Ultegra when it comes to mechanical. It's got to be hard being one of those engineers. Imagine working on the team that's responsible for Durace. You're like, yes, let's refine everything. Let's make everything perfect and the best we can and the best materials. And then the second week of work, you're like, the second year you're onto Ultegra. Okay, team, let's make things just a little bit shitter. 105 comes along, let's get drunk and design a group set. I am kidding, but it would be funny being, if you're like working on the top of the range and it's your goal to make things a little worse and a little worse. I guess it's also still a challenge too, different materials within a budget. Where can we get the Llama jersey? I've got a couple to give away, but I haven't gone through the sizings yet. Why semi-wireless? Well, it depends how you define the current wireless. A few people have triggered that the new Durace isn't wireless, it's semi-wireless because there's still a wide battery up the back. But when it comes to marketing, they ain't gonna call it semi-wireless. So you'll see people refer to it as semi-wireless or wireless. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, how often are you unplugging a Di2 battery? You just wire it up once and you're done. No junction port. If you see my videos on rewiring my Di2 on my TCR, where I've had to wire one lever through the handlebars to the other, the satellite shifter in, and then the other one through the junction box, it's a pain in the ass. This would be, makes sense what they do. All the energy's down the back, one battery, all good. I don't think we'll see any new Garmin's this year. Garmin have been very busy the last few years. 530, 830, and the 1030 plus. Scott, that's an interesting question. Now, that wasn't in the press release that I was sent either. I got the info that the rim brake new Durace was only white. I got that via email as a separate, oh, here's an FYI. I'm like, holy hell, that's interesting. And it's noted. The answer is don't know. My suspicion is to push people towards moving away from wide and into the upper echelons of disc. Whether you agree with that or not, that doesn't matter. I think that's what they're trying to do. Yep. I mean, we can all speculate. Only they really know. But that makes sense. What do people think of the bent hoods? A bit of banana hoods. What's going on there? I like my straight line hoods. Wireless brakes? No. No way. I don't think we'll ever see wireless brakes. If anything, anti-lock, but not wireless. I've got no idea how anti-lock braking would work on a bike. I'm making things up. But we have to think about the future. Bent hoods like Campag, yeah. They've got some banana to them. Oh, this is much more relaxing than the first two segments that we set today. Thanks everyone for dropping by too. I really appreciate the chat. Makes time go a lot faster for me. And the questions as well. Like nothing's off topic. So Tom, a bit off topic? No way. It's about bikes. There we go. Predictions, Haig. How good's Haig? So, he's a nice kid too. I say kid because he's a lot younger than me. Jack Haig has my comm. Sorry, he took the comm from me by I think a second at the Tour of Bright Time Trial back in 2011, I think it was. He also took, I had the Mount Alexander KOM, the front side of Mount Alexander near Bendigo, way back. It was near 400 watts for 15 minutes. I was pretty proud of that at the time. Then some kid came along, took my comm at 350 watts. I'm like, hang on, you must be light. Who the hell is this kid? Jack Haig. So we've got history. New Rome soon? No, I don't. Not this year, I don't think we'll see. I think if we're going to see anything this year from any of the companies, it would have been at Eurobike. I tweeted out yesterday just to throw a bit of... just to stoke the fire a bit, that typically we see all the announcements when the doors open at Eurobike and we haven't... it's not happening. That's just the state of things. They'll let the new Bolt die down a bit for sure. For sure. Headphones while Zwifting. Look, personal choice. I have some AirPod Pros. Sometimes they fall out. Hey, Miller got second. There's some times there. Phil Potts third. Good stuff. Just looking at the Epic KOM time set there. That's solid. There's my 26 minutes that I set earlier this morning. No, I kind of moved towards... I've got a few headphones to review and things like that. I bought the AirPod Pros for, the idea of reviewing them. But when it comes to showing people or demonstrating earphone quality, you can't do it. It's impossible. You can just say, sounds good, love the quality, but it's not like a power meter where I can say, check this out. I just add words over top of the graphs. My words don't mean anything. You can see the graphs. You can see if a power meter is accurate. But headphones are hard. They're also one of those things that the influencer companies shove down your throat non-stop, like handbags and jewellery, and I'm not joking. You get a few emails a day. Dear sir, We love your channel. We think your audience would be interested in. And you know when they've contacted 1 million people because the cut and paste of the rich text is a little different to your name. Interbike, yes. The last one. Interbike is no more. It's all sea otter now. Which we can't get to. No. 530 plus, no, I can't think of anything the 530 or 830 need to do to be a plus. The 530, 830 and the 1030 plus now are all, I mean, I need to jump into the actual guts of them. They're very similar. So to push, say, the 530 into the plus and give it more features than the 830 or the 1030 plus, that would be a weird strategy. Tuned e-bikes, yeah. E-bikes have their place, but I'm assuming it's like those monkey bikes we saw a few years back. There'd be a crackdown if there needs to be. $47 subs on mainly a Trainer Road Adaptive Training Focused channel. Mate, keep it going. The only thing with YouTube or any chat, you just got to keep going, keep grinding. My first month of YouTube, I made $32. I put in, well, back then it was probably what, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day for a month to make $32. That ain't a career. But there is a lack of Trainer Road content out there for sure. If you can be a go-to for that, absolutely. Be Cool, years ago, I've used Be Cool. We're not doing the radio tower. Finish line is ahead. This is the finish of the segment. Cadence is a personal thing, it really is. It's whatever you train at. So if you're, some people grind, some people spin. If you're training for an event or there's a hill nearby home that you want to do a PB on, go out there and set a baseline like we're doing in this ride here, set a baseline. And then if you're always feeling good at spinning at 80, then on the trainer, that's what you do. Depends what you're made of. With the introduction of the 34 tooth now on the road cassettes from Shimano and much higher groups or higher ratios on other groups, you can spin as much as you want. Spurs on tour. Has it started happening in the last 2 weeks? Okay, so this is the end of the final segment. This is the long segment on the advanced, so Epicom reverse. And that's the end of the banner there with 2Ks to go down here. So I'm going to get the 3Ks and do the whole descent here. We are done. So now, what happens after I've completed all of those? Now the last one, that was only 29 minutes, so that wasn't going hard. Oh, we got 28th spot, that's nice. Nothing shows up in game here. I save the ride in a minute once I've got these 3Ks. I'm not climbing this hill and not counting these Ks. Once that's saved, save the ride, etc, etc. Then you jump over to the companion app, do a refresh once you've disconnected, and it will pop up on screen with your Zwift Academy. You can click on the button and then it will give you your segment times. I think it tracks your segment times if you've done multiple segment times. So that's where that's tracked. It's not in-game here. Oh, there is a super tuck on the Tron. It's been a while. Been a while since I've been on the Tron. I'm absolutely sandbagging this. Check out my improvement. Give me a couple of weeks. Medium-sized TCR. I do fit... Yeah, look, the one I'm on now is a medium large, an ML. I like the mediums a little bit more. I like a smaller road bike, a smaller frame and a longer stem. It's just what I've always ridden. I'm 181, I think, but height's only one metric. You've got torso and arms and preference and aero and all that. But I mean, I can get away with riding on medium large, but the medium works really well for me. The TCR is just it just handles so well. I've got to do a refresh of my current TCR before the new one comes, if I get that. We've got some new zip wheels to put on, roll around on for a little bit. Slaying. Don't know. Anyone who's seen the Hunt for the Wilder People? And that guy jumps out of the bush and goes, "Ha ha!" And he's dressed as like, have you guys seen a man that's half man, half bush? And the other two have walked along and found this guy in the middle of nowhere like, what the hell? I think Slane's half man, half bush now. Haven't seen him for a while. I expect him to jump out of the trees at any time and go, ha ha! I'm bikepacking. It's been a while. We're in 5K lockdown still, so not quite sure if he's drinking his own pee yet, but it wouldn't surprise me. Bear Grylls reference. Oh, look, Hunt for the Wilder People. New Zealand movies are just brilliant. I love them. Whale Rider. What else? Anybody got some favourite New Zealand movies? They're great. Don't say Lord of the Rings. Boy. Once Were Warriors. Were they? That's New Zealand, definitely. Lord of the Rings. Housebound. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back. I'm in Ballarat. Far enough away from Melbourne to be at arm's length from Melbourne. We are not far from where the Eureka Stockade took place. Here's the finish line. So, back on track with what we're up to today. This is the Invisi finish line that's coming up. 200 metres, and it will pop up. This is the end of the event, technically. I'm back out into freeride mode, so you'll see everyone else pop up after this. So, that's the actual finish. This doesn't mean anything. This just means the end of the section they've given. Not timed. Boom. 164. See, this morning when I didn't know what was going on, I did a 109. So I've been really mucking around in this ride, except for those two segments where I almost died. Flight of the Conchords, even though it's not New Zealand, but Flight of the Conchords, everybody. Band meeting, everybody. We've got a gig. A light, fun horror movie. Aren't they the best? A bit like Wolf Creek. If you're not from Australia, watch Wolf Creek. It's a documentary. Also watch Snowtown, which actually is based on true events. And then come to Tour Down Under. You'll love the Adelaide Hills. Anybody catch the comment over on GCN today? They had two dudes clearly from the UK bantering away in their accents, and someone goes, oh, I love the game of picking which one's the Aussie and which one's from the UK. As an Aussie, I'm like, the fuck are they even saying? That's funny. Do people mistake the Aussie accent for anything else? I can't tell. Everybody else I usually deal with has an accent of some type. Except other Aussies. I can't tell. Can definitely spot all the different UK accents though. My word. Dave, it really doesn't matter. ideally on your bike, if you have the exact same cassette indoors and out, then you're going to have the same, not this, it's the B tension screw that can change, and chain length. If you're going from, say, a 25 outdoors and a 32 indoors, or vice versa, you might have some chain issues. You can move the slider down. It's lots of debate online whether the slider is virtual gearing or not. Not touching that one again. I've done a few videos on it. Hot potato, pass it on. It's kind of like that. It's good enough. Lee McGinley, your accent. Yours is Broady, isn't it? Roxburgh Park. TDU, Troy, yeah. Yeah. Thank you for the subscription, Jeff. Keeps the channel ticking along. I'm pretty happy with over 6 years. Every single day, I'm in the positive for subs. Every day. It goes through waves, depending on what's happening, whether something's interesting, whether I'm uploading good content. Every single day for over 6 years, the sub count's been in the positive. Don't everybody piss me off and unsubscribe. I really appreciate the subs. That does keep the algorithm happy. Yeah, the USA mistake accents pretty well. I guess it depends on the amount of television you consume. Here in Australia, we consume TV it's mostly from Britain. Is it? I mean, we get a lot of BBC stuff, or we grew up with a lot of stuff in the UK, but a lot of American television too, like tons of it. So we get the mix all around. But if you're in the US, you're not going to get Aussie television or UK. If you're in the UK though, you'll get Neighbours. RIP Neighbours. I think they're pretty much dead as a doornail, aren't they? No good ones. Kylie left. Charlene. I'll pay for everyone to unsubscribe. Let's go. Hey, if you do see it on YouTube, hopefully it'll come soon for mine. There's a membership button. Obviously, that's what I've had. That's really handy. That's a subscription to the channel that keeps things ticking along, regardless of if anything's interesting or not. And you'll get a little Llama next to your name in your comment. That's super handy. I've got a good little subscription base, which really helps out. There's also a thanks button that you'll see on other channels. I haven't got it yet. I'm hoping for it to come along. Now, what thanks does is, if you watch a video that's handy, you've learned something from, bang, you can press thanks and give $2 or whatever you choose. I am killing for that to be enabled. There's nothing I can do. I don't have any contacts at YouTube. I don't have a channel member, partner, or anything like that. It's YouTube still, would you believe, even though it's full-time for me, it's a black hole. It really is. So as soon as that's enabled, my videos about removing pedals, which goes nuts on Saturdays. People remove pedals from bikes on Saturdays. Push down, pull up, go watch the video. It's the only technique to use. Works every time. And how to fix a coffee machine. People will be hitting, I'll be like, hit thanks on that. That'd be awesome. So watch for that. And if you see it on any other channel as well, and you learn something from the channel, yeah, hit that button, give them $2 or $3 or $5 or whatever. It'll really help them out. How do I stream my Zwift companion from my screen to my phone? Michael, good question. I have a video on this, which I will be able to put a link to in just one moment. I'm just cooling down now. We'll go to about 40Ks. We'll call it done for a night. I'm keen to upload these this Friday. Have a look at those segments. Okay, this video is called How to Show Your Mobile Phone or your iPhone mobile screen during live stream broadcasts. This is what you're after. Boom. Hey Sean, thank you for the super chat. That's coffee money and nappy money. Is that paying people to unsubscribe though? Ultrasonic cleaner, yep. Still got that, still put that to good use. It doesn't... What I'd love it to do is, yeah, you put it in, your equipment in there, walk away, come back, pull it out, it's done for you. No, it's not quite that easy. You still need to do a bit of scrub, but it's like... Oh, so much easier than scrubbing. And there's parts you can't scrub, so that'll dislodge the stuff. I'd put the lean on the phone frame. You mean, do I have a lean on this one? It was triggering somebody. This one here. It's with an OBS. It's just one of the advanced metrics. You put an angle. Again, some just behind the scenes stuff here. If you want to know how to put a phone, that looks like it's actually an old iPhone on the screen there. It's very outdated now, but all that is so that's the HDMI in, and I just put an image behind it to make it look like it's a phone, just as I have here for the hot tub. So to do the hot tub, that's two images and me in the middle. Front image, but cut out along here. I sit my image, because you can layer where things are. I sit in between that and I put the other image behind me. So it looks like I'm splish in the hot tub. Here we go, check out Coco Cadence. We'll head over this way, up that climb, down the desert. That should get us to 40Ks. Thanks for the super chats, everyone. I do appreciate that. That ends my day on a very different note to the start. Oh. Well, technically it's not a hot tub, is it? See, it worked in reverse. Oh, mate, you're one step ahead. Okay, if that works, can I tell Shimano that I don't want their power meter? Don't give me early access to your power meter, Shimano. Don't care. Will one then arrive? I've got a lot of questions coming in about the new power meter. I really hope they have fixed the power meter. If they have, I will be the first one to sing the praises and say, job done. You want a power meter, get that one. Because I love Durace and Ultegra front rings. I've got them on my Powder Max and Gico. People put them on their Quark D4s. Durace front rings are beefy. They change so well. I never cook my own chain wax, no. No. I use these Silka super secret, just drip on stuff. And have to reapply a lot. I don't have time for that. Maybe when I get some spare time, but spare time's hard to come by at the moment. We're east coast of Australia. They're still in a pretty hard lockdown. But this time around, our 7th lockdown, childcare services are shut. And being a YouTuber is not an essential service. Although I'm sure everyone disputes that. I do. What I do is not an essential service. And what Mrs. Llama does wasn't classified that for an... It just wasn't, we'll leave it there. So it's home daycare for probably the next... shit knows. A couple of months. And you know one of the real ball punch about all of that is we're starting to fucking pay for daycare. But could be worse. We are blessed to have a little boy It was just an absolute gem of a kid. So it's all good. No, there's not, Fleming, unfortunately. I would love there to be. And I think I spoke about that on the Hammerhead version of Climb Pro. The closest you're going to get is Strava segments, I think. Strava live segments, but I think I turn those off. I hate those beeping away. So no, you need to have a route set for it to know what climb you're going on. But depends where you are in the world. Around here, if I'm going to Buninyong, the Nationals course, there's a high chance that I'm going to be riding up the main climb. So I would love to be able to turn a mode on where it just goes beep. Here's 3 or 4 climbs coming up. Which one are you doing? Press button, done. Here's the Climb Pro for it. And if that only pops up every now and then, or you can turn it on when you're in hilly terrain, that'd be brilliant. They need more smarts for that kind of stuff. It's not there yet. Climb Pro and Climber and all those, they're fantastic for pacing. They are super cool. Yeah, little Maxwell's been involved in a few conference calls this week. Oh, your kids are now in college, mate. Don't tell me how quickly that time went. Max just turned 2 the other day. I want him to stay that little for a while. Cheers, Sean. You're in Ringwood, hills everywhere. Got a couple of... Ringwood, Melbourne? Got a sneaky com around Ringwood. Let me find out which one it is. No one's got it yet. You'll know the climb. We're going past 40Ks, everyone. Ringwood, where are we? Ringwood. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Where is it? Craig Road. Come on, come on. Please tell me there's a segment there still. I'll link to it if I can find it. It's not coming up. Did someone... Under East Link? It's not popping up on Segment Explore. Why is it not popping up? That's Diesel or Coco. Who are we with? Oh, Bowie, get out of there. Right on everyone who is though. It's not pulling up. When I do a segment explore, I can't. It's not pulling up Craig Road. There's a couple of little efforts around there. Can I maybe get one that I've ridden on the way to Craig Road? No. Anyhow. Glenvale Road, no mate, no. Glenvale Road is... It intersects Glenvale Road, but it's from the western side of Craig Road to the peak. I just can't pull it up here on Strava. Glenvale Road sucks. So if nobody, a lot of people probably won't know Glenvale Road. 15, 16%. It's got a, yeah, ugh. Though today's gearing would be a lot better than what we used to run. I think the biggest we used to run was a 28, 27 on the back actually. So getting it better than 39, 27. Ugh. It's a horrible experience. Here we go. I found a ride that I've done. Craig Road, Donvale Climb. Come on down. I have it. I have it. I have it. And the smile is because I've still got it. 2012. Grandpa Llama has a comb. Sir Cranks a lot had a crack in 2019, Mark Adams. Yeah, Brendan, I might just round it up to an extra 100k. They're getting less and less. I lost 2 comms today from 2014. Where is Scolari? Is he still in chat? He's probably long gone. What time of year was that? A lot of those were just before Tour of Bright. There we go. Yeah, it's October. So Tour of Bright was... We would do the national champs for Masters around early September, and then after those I'd switch to climbing mode through sort of mid-September, October, November, and December was Tour of Bright. So a lot of those were snagged around that time. Strava Beacon, Sherlock, I was going to cover that one. Still might. It's limited though. So Strava Beacon free. So if everybody doesn't know, Strava Beacon, which is Strava's online tracking of your efforts for other people to look at, went free to paid and free users of Strava a couple of days ago. But it's only for the users of the app. So you've got to be running Strava on your phone. So recording your effort on your phone. I think most of the people who watch my channel use a Garmin or a Wahoo or something, and you still have to pay for that, for Strava Beacon to work through those. I think it's a bit of a dick around to set up too. I think. I haven't done it because the Garmins, the Wahoos, already have their own tracking services, which probably are a little better than Strava Beacon. Though Strava is a lot bigger than just cyclists, a lot bigger. I'll look into that. I believe it's still limited to only sending out to 3 people. I'm not sure whether that's available for the public to view. A cool thing with the Garmins and the Wahoos, if I'm out riding, I did it a couple of weeks back. I was in the Creswick Forest and I just tweeted out a link. Oh, here's my live track link, everybody, if you want to just follow along where I'm riding. I think it's limited. I think the target for that is safety, which is you nominate 3 or up to 3 others. I'll look further into it though. My Strava content does well. I love getting my head around how these things work and how they don't. There's never the full cook recipe list, published by companies. Especially if you saw the one the other day about if you put a privacy zone on and there's a segment within that privacy zone, you don't record the segment or you're removed from the segment. It's a bit too detailed, I guess, for Strava to put in their change logs. But it's still interesting if you get caught out by it. Look how many people are on here. We're going through to 45Ks. That's it. It's getting late. Yeah, correct. So the Strava app, it's getting better. Their rollout is great. Now, I do love companies that roll out features that we can get excited about. Even if you use them or not, doesn't matter. Optional features are a good thing. And Strava are there. They've really, they've turned a page. They really have. Drop multiplier up to 2.5 again. That was their original multiplier, I believe. I think I did my video on the multiplier when it first came out, discussing that it was 2.5, and then I think the next update nerfed it back to 2, and now up to 2.5 again. Another one of those changes that wasn't documented. I'd love to see all these documented. Give me a changelog that's 500 entries. I get excited about that shit. I did a video the other day on a Wahoo changelog, which was 1 line. It had 1 line. It said kilojoule fix for Asioma power meters. I get excited about that kind of stuff. So do others. That video has 20,000 views. one changelog line. We need more details. One I'll have to do soon though is why you get overtaken by runners when you're riding up hills. I think that's one thing that will frustrate a lot of people as running gets a little more popular online. On Zwift, the more people jump on, they're like, I'm up to Zwift, why is there a runner going past me? And the short answer on that is because the runners subscribe to the Flat Earth Society. The run speed is not impacted at all by the virtual gradient in game. You watched it? No, you didn't have SEOs. Yes, we'll be watching the Volta tonight. I think there's around 4,000 meters of climbing. Or maybe even 5. And I am done. Thanks everybody for joining along tonight. That was ride 3 for the day. Went very well at the start. Went okay for the next segment. The other one, didn't even try. I was done. I was cooked. 1, 2, 3 power meters stopped. Save, save. Okay. Job done. We'll put all those files together. That was the kicker core tonight as the trainer. I'm powered Max and Gico and Asioma Duos. Off to watch the Volta. I won't be sleeping for another 2 or 3 hours after that ride. With treadmill, treadmills already have controlled elevation on some, but I don't think Zwift will ever support it. If you're a runner, I think you want your actual... They're flatlanders, aren't they? I don't know. Not really my thing, but I get that, yeah, in-game their speed doesn't change. Because if you went for, say, a 5k run, you did your 5k effort on your treadmill, but then Zwift records a 2.5k effort, that actually is quite significant. On a bike, I don't think we really care because there's not really a one-for-one relationship with us moving forward, but I think a treadmill's more real life. Don't know. But, yeah, it'd be interesting. Yeah, rowing too. There was a little rowing program out the other day that looked like Zwift for rowing. So, yeah, anyway, I've been snooping around the net, looking at different virtual platforms and stuff and just seeing what's around. Rowing's interesting. I'm surprised that Zwift dropped the ball on that one, or haven't released it yet. Who knows what's coming. All right, I'm done. That was the baseline ride after I did my homework. Recapping that, baseline rides, there's no drafting. It's not a group ride. Don't get sucked into trying to go hard at the start. The only 3 things that matter are the 3 segments that you do for your baseline rides. They're over on Zwift Insider. So there's an advanced baseline ride and there's a standard baseline ride. There's some women's ones as well. I haven't looked at those because I obviously can't enter those. They may be different. I don't know. But know the sprints, know where they start, know the medium KOMs and the long KOMs, and you're good to go. Once you save your ride, that's going to be over on the companion app, and you'll be able to review from that. The experience, as I had this morning, it was pretty terrible online. I really wanted some in-game coaching or text displays and things like that. It's just that doesn't happen in game yet. Maybe next year. We'll see how it goes. But that's that. Don't get confused by the 500 meter marker after the sprint lead. I believe that's for the reverse because the shorter. I can talk this shit all night. The shorter sprints or the shorter baseline ride goes in the other direction. So I think what we're seeing is their 500 meter to go at the other side. So the segments are still the segments in game. Anyway, get those. The ride I had tonight, someone was calling out the segments in game, which is brilliant. That's what the game needs to do. Anyway, hopefully soon. What's today? It's Thursday. I'm lost. I am totally lost on what day it is. Anyway, we're in lockdown. We'll be back again soon. Thanks for joining along, and thanks everybody for the subs and the donations tonight too. They go towards coffee funds, which gets me excited and pumped up to do efforts up those KOMs, just not the longer ones. Anyway, I better go. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for joining. See you soon.